Well, welcome back, everyone, to Wildwood Zoo. Hope you guys are all having the most wonderful of wonderful days. My name is Leaf, and it's so great to have you guys back over here for another speed build. Oh my gosh, could you believe it? I'm doing a speed build. It's crazy. Now, today we're actually building for the Formosan black bear. Ideally, we'd be building for a normal black bear, but Planet Zoo likes to be weird and gives us the weird animals. So here we go, getting started with it. I already had this layout kind of chosen out beforehand, and I'm just building a way to actually get these bears into the habitat right now. I'm not sure if it gets changed anytime soon, but I'm pretty sure it does. And we're getting to work on the actual holding area back there. This entire exhibit was very difficult to build. As you guys know, I love building for my smaller animals. That's why I built for only small animals up until this point. And this would be the biggest animal that we're really building for in terms of habitat space. Obviously, they're not that big in the game, which would be something nice to have. But unfortunately, we gotta make do. Now, getting to work over here, I really wanted to give this habitat its own real feel. So I'm very much basing it off of the vibes from Buttonwood Park Zoo, kind of basing it off of Stone Zoo's black bear habitat as well. Both pulling very good inspiration from both of those. So you can see we're getting started with these beautiful, beautiful little roofs. Really like the colors over here for the carnivores. It's like a nice deep slate. And also, I'm doing climb-proof fences. So yes, this is a hyper-realistic bear exhibit. I know, I tend to misuse that word sometimes, but this time it actually does mean hyper-realistic for once. So you can see I'm getting to work on these nice climbing, anti-climbing frames over there, I guess you could call them, and kind of pushing them down a little bit more. I felt like they were a little bit too tall, especially for the bears that we were working with, so I really wanted it to have it feel like that. So getting to work on the actual fences as well. I really didn't do too much with these. You can see that I started on like rock walls and stuff like that. Really wasn't feeling those to begin with, but we kind of changed that out later down the line. You're kind of seeing the stuff that, you know, just me kind of puttering around trying to figure out what to actually do. You guys know how I build. In case if you guys don't, check out some of my other speed builds, because they're definitely probably much more of a perkier Leaf. I'm recording this very late at night because I forgot to have something out for you guys for the day that this comes out, so I hope you guys still enjoy this nonetheless. Hopefully you guys enjoy the fact that it's a nice big headliner animal too. Now getting to work over here, I really wanted to pull inspiration from Stone Zoo again, so I'm kind of copying their little trellis area. They have like these beautiful trellises that act as viewing galleries, kind of like the Zoo Tycoon 2 ones, like, you know, the wooden ones. Those exactly kind of like bring me so much inspiration over here. So we kind of do that over here, kind of placing them all throughout and really making it feel nice and even. So I place a couple of them every so often, and we have a couple over here doubled up on each other, and I even make that even bigger later down the line. A little bit more length over there, if that makes sense. And then I get to work on a little bit of foliage, just keeping this area nice and bright, just making sure that, you know, even if you're going behind the scenes while you're touring the zoo on your own, which, by the way, we'll have that posted relatively soon. I think after I finish the red deer habitat, I only need the bats, the cougar, fallow deer, and the moose habitat. So 4 more episodes after this, I think. And then we should be able to get, like, you know, the final tour and stuff like that. That's exactly what I wanted Wildwoods to be, and I know some people are recommending, like, some really kooky animals, like, you know, your seals, your black-tailed prairie dogs, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I just want the zoo to be done. I don't want to go too big. I feel like it really detracts from the quality if we start to get too big for our britches. Even right now, I'm working on the deer, and it's like, yeah, this is kind of a big, like, I don't know, they're just big animals, so I kind of neglect to work too much over there. But making our way over here and starting on, like, the rest of the surrounding rock work, I really wanted to have these nice big rock walls to kind of line up the habitat. Unfortunately, the guests kind of got, like, stuck, like, for the first half of this speed build. I fix it later down the line so they are actually able to traverse around it. There was a huge issue with those glass panels. I'm not sure if you guys have ever used those before, but they are so glitchy. Guests can't look through them. No idea why, because it's literally glass. They should be able to look through them. And yeah, that's really about it. So we kind of make our way throughout here and add our rockwork, which, by the way, I haven't seen the comments. I apologize for repeating some of the same words. Rockwork, 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 rockwork. Please add those to the tally, I'm sure. And making our way. That one also. So make sure to count those as well, my friends, because Lord knows I need to stop myself from getting into the same vocal tics. So making our way. Oh my god damn it. Finding our way all the way over here, working on this rockwork. I'm super... There we go again. But I'm super happy with this one because it feels like a nice cliff face. And we even include a lot of plants up here. We make that into like its own little planter. It was just a happy little accident how that kind of ended up. And we also copy rockwork from everywhere else because we got to the point where it's like we've done so much around the zoo already that if we keep on placing stuff in other areas, it won't look the same, especially if we kind of dress it up like we are doing right now. So we are utilizing those kind of like foundational rockwork pieces and changing them up so that they are nothing like they were originally, but they still have a little bit of that original style, which it's so much easier just to copy from other places in the zoo and then fix it up so that's all unique in the end when all is said and done. So I really wanted this area to feel nice and rocky, especially around the bear exhibit. I felt like it only made sense. Oh, and there goes my dog. So I'm gonna go open my door for my dog. I know you guys... Oh, there she goes. Okay, excellent. That's great. She made her way in. That's great. So I know you guys like when I do rock work like this. This is super fun, and it's super, super fun to just put together. And especially like over here with these nice rocky overhangs, it really is super fun just being able to work with these shapes, especially because they're not simple shapes. They're all very organic. They're all very, and I apologize if you're my dog kind of like making her way over there. Go sit down. Go lay down. My gosh, I hate recording this late at night, but yeah, you can see we're getting to work on this rock work right over here, just as a way to help clean up the area a bit more, just give your eyes something to look towards as you're making your way down these pathways. That's always something you guys want to look forward to, is having something to look forward to, really. As you make your way throughout exhibits and like zoos and pathways and such, you always want to make sure that the guests have something to look towards. And your guests, what are you eating? Go lie down. Go lie down. Can you guys believe this? But anyways, I don't know what she's eating, guys. I really don't. So you always want to have those things in the background called weenies. I know, very crazy. I have a whole episode on this back in Los Monsteros Zoo. I think that's the name of it. It's been such a long time. But I have a whole episode dedicated to weenies. I know, get crazy, guys. But always having something that your guests can look forward to is really important in like guest design, in like park design and stuff like that, and especially helps with keeping guests on track and stopping them from getting lost. That's always a really big thing in terms of like zoos. Luckily, this entire zoo is its own circuit, so you either choose a left or right and then you just follow that pathway and then it's perfect. I'm gonna give my dog my blanket so she can lay down on it. Perfect. Oh my gosh. You guys can tell just how tired I am. I'm sorry. I really wish I could have like a lot more of a perkier energy tonight, but wicked sorry, guys. So making our way throughout here, I know, add that to the tally. Adding some beautiful, beautiful foliage throughout here. That's probably my favorite part of this habitat, is how lush it feels in here, especially since it's bears. They tend to pace a lot. So you would see those pace trails really come into clutch right over here. So we kind of work with that a bit, and we also work with some climbing frames. American black bears, and even Formosan bears, they like to climb a lot. They like to climb among rockwork. They like to climb on like big chunky logs and stuff like that. So we make sure to include a lot of that as well. We also include some more rockwork. I'm really happy with these viewing areas, especially the mesh on top of there, just as a way to help make it feel a lot more climb proof. So you can see we're working a lot with that, and then we work a lot with like these beautiful cladding pieces. Easily gaining a new appreciation for these guys. Really is super awesome. Brings me back to the days of Sugar Pine Zoo with oh man, what was it? It was the Arctic Fox and No, it was the Timber Wolf, Arctic Fox, and Arctic Wolf habitats that were all like these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rockwork caves. It was really awesome just to make those, so really brings me back to that. I didn't realize what felt so familiar up until I said that, so that's very interesting. Would love to go back to Sugar Pine one day. I think after we finish this zoo, I might do season 2 of Sugar Pine. I'm not really too sure, but we could definitely do like maybe a Mexico expansion. I feel like that'd be really fun, especially since it's like all based on Americas and stuff like that, so that might be a little funky to do. So making our way all throughout here and adding a nice little waterfall. Really happy with this one, and making sure that the rockwork actually makes sense in terms of the waterfall. We just want to make sure that it actually has a place to flow out of, and I think later down the line I would love to actually add pipe work and stuff like that, just a way to help it feel like it's a lot more organically kept within the rock face right there, especially since it's like an overhang. I really want to make sure that, you know, it makes sense when it all comes down to logic and junk. But yeah. Also, I should probably talk about the foliage that I'm using for this habitat. I'm bringing in those arrowwood bushes. Normally, I would like to use a new ivy, but it's way too small for me. And for me, I can't use a lot of it because it would have a lot of repeating textures. That's something I really want to bring into like a Twilight retrospective video. Will I make that? I'm not sure. I have a lot of video ideas that I'm just not doing because A, I'm too busy, B, I'm uninspired, C, I'm tired. I'm just freaking tired, guys. But making our way all throughout here. And again, please count these because I just want to see how awful Leaf is when he's tired, when he starts to repeat his junk. But you could see that we're using all those arrowwood bushes as a way to create nice, beautiful ivy. I like the colors in that so much more than the actual standard Planet Zoo ivy, and I think it has a lot more depth to it, which I really like. So we're also using all these beautiful, beautiful autumn leaves, and I felt, you know what, we have to have a little bit of a storytelling element, so I'm making this little, overturned fall leaf basket kind of thing. Maybe a keeper knocked it down and he went to go grab it but forgot about it. So just stuff like that I feel like always adds so much more to your zoos. I don't know, just having those tiny little stories in your zoos always is super adorable. So we make our way throughout this exhibit and we start to work on this little corner back here alongside the rock work of the like waterfall area. I really wanted to have a waterfall in here. I know I was super inspired off of Stone Zoo, which, by the way, please, if you guys are even in the New England area, that zoo might not be worth it just to go there for the day, but it's definitely worth it if you pack it along with Franklin Park Zoo. Both are run by like the same company, so it really is super awesome. I really can't recommend that zoo enough. It's quality in a tiny zoo, and it's just really great in that regard. So what I really wanted to have over here is just a whole bunch of rocks, just a whole bunch of rock work to really help it settle the vibe. I really enjoy this. I really enjoy making all this rock work. It's super awesome. So adding all of it throughout the entire exhibit and working with our foliage palette. Again, the saltwort bushes are coming in very clutch. I'm using the Yorkshire grass. I haven't been using it all too much throughout like the other habitats and stuff like that, but this is a big habitat, so it requires big patches of grass. So that's exactly what we're using over there. And I'm starting to work my way into the diamond leaf willow bushes because they provide this beautiful, beautiful, just like nice sage color, I want to say it is. So it just works for the habitat. And I'm also working on this rock work over here, just making it feel like a cave this time around, or at least you're going under a rocky outcrop, because we haven't really had anything like that for the guests just yet. So I really want to make sure to include some of that because it just looks good. It just looks very good in the end. So we do a bit of that, my friends, and then we tuck that in right there. And it's just working with the natural curves of the rock work and making these jagged shapes. So there's a really intricate balancing act, I think. Yeah, you guys can tell my word comprehension. Normally my word comprehension isn't even good to begin with, but late at night it just tanks. It just goes right down. But you can see it's a very much a balancing act between sharp edges and natural curves of the rock. So being able to master that, which I don't even think I mastered in this habitat. I think I'm gonna have my little redemption arc when we get over to the cougar, which is gonna have kind of like a mirroring aspect on the other side. Each side gets its main carnivore. This one gets bear, the other one gets cougar. So that's what I want to do back over there, and I'm like, okay, we need to have some stone in there just to make sure that this climbing frame, which I stole from the lynx habitat, always make sure to steal from your own habitats. It works out so much better. It just keeps a nice consistent theme, it helps keep a nice consistent style, and it's so much easier on you. Like, listen, no one's gonna judge you if you reuse your own climbing frames. It maybe change them up a little bit, like I'm doing right over here. I'm using a lot more natural logs and stuff like that. But please, if you can make it easier on yourself, do it. It's so worth it. You're building a zoo after all. Don't get lost in the details. Even though if you want to get lost in the details, that's totally fine as well. You guys can play this game however the hell you want. So we are just about to get into the live portion, and I do want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. I know we don't have too many moving shots over here, but I hope you guys get to enjoy just what we have. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I know, Tuesday. I know you guys are probably having, I hope your week's off to a good start. I hope you guys are having a lovely, lovely little week. Hope you guys are excited for Thanksgiving coming up relatively soon. I know I'm thankful for all of you at home. And I'm also thankful for the Foremost black bear. Maybe not so, because it walks around with its mouth open. I'm gonna put a link to a bug report in the description down below, just to help keep you guys, just please, if you're watching this and you've made it this far, congratulations, you've withstanded, upcoming on 17 minutes of rambling tired leaf. But if you guys do have a few seconds, just say that you can replicate the bug. The Foremost black bear walks around with its mouth completely open, and it's the most stupidest thing ever. So I really hope we're able to fix that up. But thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you guys have the most wonderful of wonderful days, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Wildwood Zoo. Take care and have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Goodbye now.